learners. Our lesson for today is rates. Did you know cars don't consume the same amount of fuel even if they cover the same distance? Mainly because of the capacity of the car. The bigger the capacity of the car, the higher the consumption rate. And if the consumption rate is higher, implication is that the cost of petrol will also be higher. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the word per. You should be able to identify a relationship between the rate and the cost. You should be able to differentiate between constant and average rate. You should be able to simplify rates as well. So let us have a look at the content that we are going to cover today. We are going to cover cost rates, consumption rates, distance and time rates, and complex rates. These are the 4 types of rates that we need to cover in this section. So let us have a look at the content that we need to use in this section. The content that we need to use is dividing values, multiplying the values, as well as rounding off values to the nearest digit. And let us practice the concepts that need to be applied in this section. Question number 1. Pule sells 1 sweet for 2 rand. How much will he get from selling 10 sweets? So if he sells 1 sweet for 2 rand, then we can, for us to calculate, we will write the 2 rand and multiply it by 10 sweets, because now remember, 1 sweet is 2 rand. So if we multiply, then we can press the calculator together. 2 multiplied by 10, it's 20 rands. So when he sells 10 sweets, he will get 20 rands. Let us have a look at the second example. On the second example, Lulu has bought sweets from Pule with 50 rand. How many sweets did he buy? I want us to have a look at the previous slide for the price of the sweets, because this is the follow-up question. So the price of 1 sweet is 2 rand. Then Lulu bought the sweets for 50 rand. If we want to know how many sweets did she buy, we must as well know the price of 1 sweet. So because she bought with 50 rand, we can divide 50 rand with 2 rand. And then when we divide 50 rand with 2 rand, we can divide together. 50 divided by 2, we get 25 sweets. So this is the number of sweets that Lulu will buy with the 50 rand. So now I want us to go to the new words that we need to know as we will be working in this session. Okay, the first word is rates. You should be able to define the cost rates. You should be able to define the consumption rate, and you should be able to define the constant rate. But all this you will be able to define, because I am going to infuse this in the lessons as I'm presenting. Okay, so the average rate and the unit rate as well, they need to be covered. Okay, let us have a look at the first concept to be covered. The first concept to be covered is cost rates. What are cost rates? Cost rate, the definition for cost rate is price of an item per quantity. Price of an item depending on how many items is one buying. So that is the cost rate. And then we have the rate now. What is the rate? When we talk about the rate, we are talking about a fixed price charged for an item. I'm defining one rate now, a fixed price charged for an item. And now we are having per unit meaning. Remember, at the beginning I said you should be able to define what per means in this context as we are dealing with the rates. When we talk about per unit, it means the value of an item in relation to its measurement. Like if you buy maybe a pack of sweets, we want to know, when we say per, we imply that how many sweets are you buying, the quantity that you are buying. As well, per can be used in case you are buying a brick of cheese, when it is measured and then the price is charged per kilogram. When we say per kilogram, we talk about the price of 1 kilogram. Hence, we are saying the value of an item in relation to its measurement. So you know, if 1 kilogram is 10 rand, it simply means if you need 2, you need to multiply by 2. So I will take you through as we do the examples. The constant rates, these are the rates which are not changing. They remain similar throughout. Okay, now let us have a look at one example. The price of cheese brick is 79.99 per kilogram. How much will Sipho pay for 3 kilograms of cheese? Okay, now, because it is written 79.99, remember when you buy the brick of cheese, for example, you might find that it is just written 79.99. It does not mean that the brick that you are taking is 79.99. If it's written 79.99 per kilogram, it means that the price will be multiplied according to the kilograms, according to the weight of that particular cheese. So now we want to know how much will Sipho pay for 3 kilograms of cheese. So now to know how much will he pay for 3 kilograms, therefore we will take the weight, which is 79.99 per kilogram. Now because he's buying 3 kilograms, we multiply 79.99 by 3. Let us multiply together. 79.99 multiplied by 3. The answer that we get is 239.97. So this is the price for 3 kilograms of cheese. Remember, if we say per kilogram, implication is that this is the price for 1 kilogram. So if it is the price for 1 kilogram, if the number of kilograms increases, therefore you need to multiply this price by the number of kilograms. Let us take a short break. I will see you right after the break.